Ferrari is sadly failing in Formula One, and certainly not because it does not have a base in the United Kingdom. The reasons are well known. From time to time, when there is nothing else to say, the old tale about Italy gets pulled out, as if it were the curse preventing the Maranello team from winning. Yet, there is plenty of evidence to the contrary. 16 constructors' titles and 15 drivers' titles. Has it been an eternity since they last won? All true, but the location of the factory is the least of their problems. According to many, over the years, Ferrari has always had to deal with a nearly insurmountable obstacle: the reluctance of Anglo-Saxon technical staff to relocate permanently to Maranello. The result would be a chronic difficulty in attracting and retaining top-level personnel. In this context, the idea of creating a technical base in the UK resurfaces, an idea that has been revived in the Canadian paddock last weekend. To be intellectually honest, it must be said that the Italian team did experiment with something similar in the 1980s, when John Barnard, the father of the semi-automatic gearbox, was allowed to operate from Guildford in Surrey, southeast England. Through a dedicated facility, he could work without being physically in Italy, a move that split the team in two and led to nothing good. Most Formula One teams are based in the United Kingdom. This is where most of the motorsport engineering is concentrated. Why should Ferrari establish a technical outpost in this area? Would it mean inserting itself into this highly competitive ecosystem? Is it about a methodological gap compared to teams like Mercedes, McLaren, Red Bull, and Aston Martin? Are these teams united by faster decision-making processes, leaner hierarchies, and a technical culture that rewards pragmatism? Perhaps. But who says all of this can't be done in Italy? Who made that up? For example, if the best pizza maker in the world moves from Naples to the United States, does he become a loser? Does he lose the ability to make the dough properly? The real problem for the Italian team isn't where things are done, but how they are done. Not to mention that Italy's Motor Valley has nothing to envy of Britain's. Until proven otherwise, Italy's excellence in engines, chassis, and aerodynamics is among the best in the world. After the Canadian Grand Prix, Nico Rosberg reportedly advised the prancing horse team to establish a base in the United Kingdom, suggesting that Ferrari's level of excellence did not match that of the British teams, particularly Mercedes, and adding that aspects such as marketing and other areas were stronger elsewhere. He is said to have claimed that the culture and the team's Italian location made things more difficult. Nico Rosberg mentioned all this during Sky UK's F1 show. It's his opinion, but we don't share it at all. In Formula One, without proper guarantees, no one plays at this level. To make a difference at the highest level of motorsport, you need substance. The facilities in Italy are definitely there. What Ferrari may lack are a few top-level engineers, although they have always come to the Modena area. If Adrian Newey chose Aston Martin, it certainly was not because he didn't find the area around Maranello appealing, which, for the record, has nothing to envy from the English equivalent. On the contrary, Adrian Newey is a regular visitor to Italy. The real reasons why the aerodynamics genius did not join Ferrari are quite simple. Narrowing it down, there are two: the fact that the team didn't want to give him control of sporting operations and the excessive pressure within the team. After achieving everything and more in his career, he walked away because the necessary conditions weren't met. The 2016 Formula One world champion may be right when talking about decision-making structure, but changing that policy does not require relocating to Northamptonshire. If the Maranello team still hasn't updated the SF25 single-seater, it's not because the factory is near Modena. The reasons are different, linked to a precise technical approach aimed at avoiding further mistakes in a season where design errors are already weighing like a boulder. If there is one area where the Italian team has clearly underperformed, it's communication. And not just the kind directed at the media where it is truly terrible, but also internally. That's precisely why the idea of building a base in the United Kingdom does not seem smart at all. It would only further complicate a system that's already quite deficient. The example of John Barnard is instructive: the factory of excuses. If the Italian team is truly serious about returning to the top of the sport, it must first rethink itself. The organizational model, work culture, interdepartmental communication, everything must be updated to match the category's standards. Ferrari team principal Frederick Vasseur is working on this, and some progress has been made in that direction. Leave the UK to the Brits. Everyone has their own clock. Ferrari is a top team in every respect. It has cutting-edge technical facilities. The wind tunnel was upgraded last year during the summer break to improve the yaw analysis of the model, and the simulator is considered one of the most advanced in the sport, as is the CFD structure. More generally, its facilities, like the dynamic benches, have nothing to envy compared to the best competitors, so the structure itself is not in question. With the SF24, the team came within 14 points of winning the Constructors' title last year. The SF25 Revolution was supposed to bring the red car a double title in the final championship under ground effect regulations. But Ferrari simply got the car wrong. It was born with low aerodynamic load compared to rivals, and with a serious problem. To express its full potential, the red car would have to run at such a low ride height that it would nearly scrape the track surface, risking excessive plank wear beyond what the regulations allow, just like what happened to Lewis Hamilton at the Chinese GP. The 2025 Formula One car was designed with the aim of giving aerodynamicists greater development freedom throughout the season. Instead, the design constraints have limited the car's evolution, and the response times are proving slow, too slow compared to the growth of other top teams. McLaren, Red Bull, and now even Mercedes have won races this year. Only the Italian side remains winless, and so far has had to settle for the minor race at the Shanghai International Circuit in China. The Maranello team is awaiting the new floor and the long-awaited rear suspension like manna from heaven. But the doubt is whether these solutions can widen the tire operating window without delivering major performance leaps. Vasseur has already made it clear that we're nearing the end of a regulatory cycle and that improvements will come in hundredths, not tenths. Ferrari suffers from an organization that does not match the pace of its rivals. The change in front wing inspections was supposed to benefit the red team. Yet despite the less flexible wings, the hierarchy hasn't changed, and the SF25 single-seater remains behind. It is up to the French team principal to set a direction for the team. Last year, after a difficult start, the recovery produced excellent results, while now they are trying to extract potential from a car that only shines in certain conditions, delaying the introduction of aerodynamic upgrades. The drivers are calling for updates, and Lewis Hamilton in particular is advising to shift focus to the 2026 Formula One project, not expressing much optimism about what's to come. The problem is we are not even halfway through the season. Can Ferrari afford half a season adrift while waiting for reinforcements? Vasseur has his fate in his own hands, despite the fact that his contract with Ferrari expires at the end of the current year. This is no longer the time to delay. The Maranello team doesn't need to repeat the experiences lived with John Barnard, but it must overcome the technical problems that have plagued the SF25 since the start of the 2025 Formula One Championship. And it's up to Vasseur to lead a step change, while also working on the project for the upcoming season.